I wonder if you've ever been asked who or what has influenced you in a positive way. I can recall being influenced by a very good friend of mine called Harold Wakeford, who introduced me to close-up nature photography. And this has helped shaped my photography today. Sometimes people can impact us in a positive way as their message or their actions can sometimes trouble us. In this passage that we've read today for the worship at home, we read that Jesus goes to a place called Capernaum, where he enters a synagogue, and the people were absolutely amazed and astounded at his authority of teaching, which was not like any of the other teachers of the law at the time. We do not know what he said, but we do know that it made a huge impact. And for me today, Jesus has impacted my life. And of all influencers, Jesus is the greatest for the good that I've ever known in my whole life. Jesus very often gathered together crowds. However, we do read in the Bible that it takes time for a retreat and also a time to regain his strength and to pray in quiet places. And I'm reminded of these verses from Proverbs 3 and verses 5 to 6 that offers us an invitation to follow Jesus. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding, but seek his will and all you do, and he will show you which path to take." The story that we have read today for the worship at home service, there was a man in the synagogue who had an unclean spirit, and he shouts and he creates a disturbance, but Jesus says, "Be silent and come out of him." And the onlookers were amazed that Jesus spoke with such authority. Today, in our world, we have people who may disturb us and sometimes maybe distract us from following Jesus. Some of you will be aware of these new influencers in the media who draw a following. Sometimes millions of people are following, but at times this fame has impacted their decisions and affected their well-being and also their relationships and their lives. I can recall some time ago now a Methodist minister and asking him a serious question, expecting him to give me the answer. And he said, "Ian, you have to work this out for yourself. Sometimes we need to listen to the voice of God." The Old Testament prophet called Micah in verses 6 to 8 says this, "O people, the Lord has told you what is good, and this is what he requires of you: to do what is right, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." Thinking about taking time to maybe recharge our batteries as we head towards the end of January 2024, I sometimes have recited this prayer, and it's attributed to Reinhold Niebuhr, a Lutheran theologian who lived some years ago. And I want to end today's reflection by just closing with this prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen.